Hello and welcome to this week's TechA video newsletter from Insight Support on Monday the 4th of February 2008. TechA is where we look at the key indices from the CAC, the DAX, the Dow, the FTSE, the Nasdaq and the Nikkei. So starting off with the CAC 40, as we can see with the CAC, one of the things we noted last week was a consolidation between around about 4,750 to 5,000. Now that consolidation looks to be pretty much staying for the course, I would imagine, for the majority of this week, much like last week. If we look at the intraday moves, from where we are from recording it at the moment, we can see it's still having a bit of trouble breaking above 5,000. It broke at 1525 on the market open, but has soon dropped down to a current 4990. So that certainly doesn't bode massively well for the CAC to manage to break out that resistance at 5,000. And as we can see previously, certainly over the last week, it's managed or attempted to do the same at various points, but still failed. So that proves that there is very strong resistance at 500. Whether the support at 4,750 or thereabouts is equally as strong remains to be seen. There's certainly support at 4,600. So what we're going to see with the CAC, I would imagine for the majority of this week, is more of the same of this consolidation. Moving on now to the DAX. DAX has a similar story to tell in that its resistance is at 7,000 with almost like an interim support at 6,800 with an overall support at just shy of 6,400. Which is very low down. But what we're likely to see once again, similar to the CAC, is a consolidation with the DAX between 6,800 and 7,000. If we look once again, like we did with the CAC, and look at the intraday move on the DAX, we can see it's actually just above 1735. So knowing that now, there could be an opportunity indeed for it to actually break, but it remains to be seen. Remember that the supports and resistances are only indications of where a likely turnaround is going to happen. They're not exact, so you can't say at 7,000 it's going to change. Certainly with when the moves are quite considerable. What they do basically show us is an indication to a change in sentiment. So I think with the DAX it's certainly well worth looking to see if it has indeed continued to break and find the 7,000 point and then find support at 7,000. It does seem to be banging around about 70.30 at the moment, which is just above 7,000 obviously, and would lead us into this period of consolidation, this period of support and resistance. But it remains to be seen whether there's still that strength there. There is a possibility, but there's also a stronger possibility of it moving back down again within the broader consolidation 6,800 to 7,000. So we need to see what happens at the close of today with the DAX. Moving on now to the Dow, everyone's favourite. The Dow has managed to recover quite a bit, found support at 12,000 rather, and has steadily climbed up, reaching a sort of midpoint between the 12,500 and 13,000 support and resistance, and there's quite a strong chance of some consolidation, but it has managed to struggle back up, and really the next strongest resistance to it is around about the 13,000 mark, generated by this period of consolidation here, and a return to a bullish move there. So there's several points where there's likely to be a bit of a slowdown. But having said that, considering the strength that is now returning back to the Dow, only on the short term I hasten to add, there could be a possible break. But bear in mind, of course, there is all this messy consolidation and peaks and troughs that are likely to cause Dow a real headache once it gets past 13,000. So be wary of that with the Dow. Moving now on to the FTSE. FTSE, similar in some respects to the Dow, has managed to recover quite a bit. Market close on Friday was not bad at all. Was where was it? Just get the high low close. It was around about 60.50 as its high, which puts it just shy of this resistance. The market opened, if we look at the intraday on the FTSE, we can see that it opened just above that but has fallen back down. So that kind of proves at the moment that there is still quite strong resistance at this point. So that could then mean that we're likely to get a consolidation between 5,900 and 60.50. Whether that's likely to last the week, I don't know. There's a possibility because that's quite a strong resistance generated at 60.50 at the bottom of this period of consolidation, and just above it at 6,200 is another period of consolidation, which is going to cause a resistance at 6,200. So you have to be wary of that. Moving now on to the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq has recovered a bit, found support at 1700, bit of resistance at 1800, which would now be support. Resistance now at 1900, so we're likely to see slight gains, possibly up to 1900 during the week. The NIC, consolidation between an overall broad range of 13,000 to 14,000, with maybe a 750 point band between 1300 and 13,750. Very difficult to monitor the NIC, certainly in a very severe downtrend. Unlikely to recover greatly, but it does have these spurts, much like it does on the way up, where there's some huge bullish moves. So usually the best thing to do is, if there's a strong bullish move with the Dow and many of the other indices, the NIC tends to react like a crazy fool, to quote Mr. T, and sort of do the extreme of what the others are doing. So that's the NIC, and that's this week's Tech A video newsletter from Insights Support on Monday the 4th of February 2008. We'll be back next week, next Monday, with another update. Thank you for watching.